Detail. The Association of African Universities, the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the African Private Sector have inaugurated a committee to establish an African Education Trust Fund. The committee comprises eminent African scholars, business executives, some representatives of African institutions, an Indian former Vice-Chancellor of an Eastern African university, and 2 senior advisors.
The Association of African Universities, AAU, Africa's apex higher education body, with a membership of over 400 universities across the continent, and the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, PACCI, representing the collective interest of chambers of commerce and industry and the business community in Africa, signed a strategic partnership agreement in March 2021 to promote deeper discourse on improving academia-private sector relationships on the continent. The ultimate goal of the agreement is to expand cooperation towards the integration of Africa through education, trade, and investment under regional economic communities, RECs, and the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA. In this partnership agreement, the parties agreed to launch a special African Educational Trust Fund, AETF, to raise funds to develop and strengthen a resilient Africa education system that produces the right skill sets required to transform the continent into an economic powerhouse through human capacity development, academic scholarship, development of responsive curricula in all disciplines and infrastructural development in African higher education and technical and vocational education and training (TVET) systems. The African Education Trust Fund is one of the several tenets of the Association of African Universities and the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry Agreement that is being lifted by the African Private Sector Summit, APSS, for actualization. One other is the Bill of Rights for an Enabling Business Environment in Africa, which is currently being drafted and is funded by the United Nations Economic Commission of Africa, UNECA. In a brief but memorable virtual meeting held on 3rd February 2022 and coordinated by the APSS, which has been mandated by the 2 parties of the coordination programs in agreement, an organizing committee of 15 experts in African higher education was inaugurated by the Deputy Chair of the APSS, Mr. Ben Echampon. The committee is chaired by Dr. Eko Spiogapra, a Ghanaian diplomat and former Minister of Education, and also former Minister of Trade and Industry. Mr. J. Wendell Andy, the chair of APSS, applauded the AAU and PACCI for committing to implement the MOU and acknowledged the important roles other sister organizations such as the African Business Council, ABC, have to play to actualize the goals of the MOU. He posited that addressing the skills set needs of the continent is an indispensable enabler, particularly in the conservation of its raw materials for the success